something a little different. We're going to swap out a toilet. And the reason I'm doing this is because the toilet we're putting in is different than anything I've ever seen. I just put one in the other bathroom in this house, and I'm about to do this one also. But they have a solid base. There's like the P-trap that you see on the side of most toilets is back here. It's kind of hard to clean and stuff, so this lady decided she wanted the ones with the smooth sides. I'd never installed one before until I installed the one in the other bathroom. And I thought it was so neat, the way that it goes in, that I was going to do a video on how to put one of them in, because I don't know if there is one video of it being put in. So it's kind of a different thing. So first I'll explain for the real newbies that have never changed the toilet, how to get the old one out. So right now I've already got the water shut off. And then you want to flush it until it doesn't do anything anymore. And then there's going to be a little bit of water left in here, don't worry about that. And there's going to be a tiny bit left in the bottom of this. So then you're going to disconnect your feed line, like so. And if you usually I use the bathroom's trash can, clean it out and just use it under there. And you should catch any little drips you're going to have right off the bat. Okay, so now that we got that done, we want to take this thing off. So up under here, you're going to find usually 3 bolts that have some kind of a wing nut. In this case, they're actual metal wing nuts. And this one only has 2, so most toilets have 3. But doing your little wing nut like that. This side is being stubborn. I'm going to use my pliers. And it's long-winded, long-threaded, however you want to put it. Okay, so that gets those off of there. Now we can just lift that off. Now, in this bathroom, the shower is like right behind the camera. And the door opens, of course, it's going to hit the camera. Let me do some adjusting here real quick. Because I am going to take the excess water in that bowl and just dump it in the shower. That way I'm not getting everything around it wet. Because there's always going to be like maybe ½ inch to an inch in the bottom of the bowl. So we just lift it off and very carefully drain it into the bathtub or shower. In this case, this bathroom's got a great big shower, so I'm just going to let it sit in there for now. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to set this aside. Okay, so next, you're going to unbolt the toilet from the floor. Now this one has twist-on caps. They just thread on there, and they're real easy to take off. Sometimes you'll run into these type, the little domed ones, the flat top. You just take a screwdriver underneath of them and pop them off, and they'll come right off. All right. Then I need my 7/16 inch wrench. And you're going to start undoing that little cap nut on each side. Once you got it loose, it'll come off with your fingers. Now this one's a little rusted. It's not one that comes easy. There he goes. Come on, washer. And there's that. Then I'm actually going to shut the camera off for this one. I'm going to lift this up and set it in the shower as well. But it just slides straight up off of there, and then you can just carry it. And you just try to keep it level so you don't spill any water out of it. And then once you got it in the shower, you can dump it out. Okay? Well, in this case, it's a shower. It could be a bathtub. It could be getting it out the back door. It could be, you know, maybe you're going to make a mess and have to carry it across the living room or something. But you just have to get it removed. I'll come back once I've got this one removed. Okay, so I got that out of the way. It's sitting in the shower behind me. Now this one was cocked to the floor. When you have that, you want to scrape up the, in this case, silicone, which is not easy to scrape up off of this type of floor, in my case, but get that off of there. And you've also got the wax ring. Now, I actually put this back on because it came off with the toilet, so I can actually just lift this right off, but most times you got to take a scraper and scrape the wax off. So in my case, that easy. Nice. I still got to get the silicone up. Alright, it's mostly to make the other toilet set more level, but anyway, you get the idea. So when I come back, we'll have the first part of the other toilet. I'm going to shut the camera off and clean up the rest of that silicone, and then we'll come back and start assembling this new type of toilet that is really weird. It's kind of cool too. Alright, be right back. Okay, so this is what makes it so damn unique. This is what bolts down on here, and the wax ring goes under it. That needs to stay on. And then the toilet sits down, and this is a rubber flange, and it actually fits into that, and that's where your flush comes from. So the brackets that go on here actually hold the toilet down. It's really kind of wild, but it's so simple at the same time. So first thing is the wax ring and the new toilet bolts. Make sure that sticks fairly firmly so that when you turn it over it stays. Okay, and then you're going to stick it down. I'm just going to use these toilet bolts because they are fine. Then you want to squish it down real good. Mashing that wax and making sure everything seals. And then use the new hardware. Well, at least the nuts anyway. Oh, no, where's my razor? Great. Technically, all you need if you're doing this and not using the new bolts is the nuts, because these brackets go here and here and get bolted down. Now, ideally, I should have grabbed a deep well 7/16" socket, and then I could use that to bolt these down, but I'm just going to use the wrench in my fingers and I think we'll be fine. I did on the other one, so. You could put the metal washers on, but it's just not necessary since these are acting as the washers. Alright, on the wrench. There we go. Nice and tight so it doesn't move. Okay? Now, you've got these little things. You got to make sure that this goes into there, and it's got a little peg that goes into a slot on this side. Make sure that it stays in there, or you mess things up. I've already found that out because I had one fall out when I was setting the toilet. They don't give you nuts for these. They're just little plastic slip-ons, and you just pop them on the end of the bolt, and bam, you're done. You want that to move like that. Same thing on the other side. Again, make sure those things stay all the way in. And now we can put the toilet together. So let's go in the living room and do that. Alright, so as I was saying, you can see on the side of this toilet that it's nice and solid. There's no place for dust to collect and all that, so it's real easy to clean, which is why Lynn wanted them. So, let's put the tank on it. You see here. Put this over on this side. So they got a ring that goes on there, and then these 3 bolts go into those 3 holes. Now, I don't know if they do this with every brand, but this particular brand sends you a special tool to actually put these nuts on. Didn't know that the last one. I used my wrench. It was still easy to do, so there we go. You got to reach inside and push the bolts down through, because they don't reach until you squash the rubber that they pass through. Okay, now we can set the sucker on the flange. Okay, so we got the new toilet. We got the line set up here, the flange set up here. Now the idea is to drop it so this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this hole in the side. You want it to line up with this bracket, and you'll feel the deal that goes into that. You'll feel it plug as you go. Oh, where you go? Okay, I'm not getting it. There it is. Boom. So then you've got these 2 very long round-headed screws, and then these 2 little black things, and they go into there, and then the screw goes in there, and you should be able to feel around and find the nut that's in that little plastic thing. And I'm in it there. Get this one going. Oh, and did it.
I'll be right back.
There it went. And you just take a flat screwdriver and drive them on in until they're tight. And your toilet is mounted. Draw her up. And turn it on. This thing's gonna take a minute to fill up, so we'll fast forward through that. There it is. I'm going to bring you over and show you. I thought these things, the way they flush is pretty neat. I've only ever seen this kind like in fancy hotels and stuff. So, come here a sec. Make sure you got a good shot. Okay, here we go. It just comes from one spot right over here and swirls all the way around and goes down. Pretty slick. Wonder. No, I can't quite get it in there. Let's go sideways for a second. There you go. That's the slot. I bet it'll still flush. So, there you go. Fancy new toilet. All I gotta do is get the seat on it. And we're done. Ta-da! And it's soft close. Well guys, hope that's helpful. Maybe sometime one of you will want to replace your own toilet and you'll remember this and go, hey, I got that video to refer to. Because it's really quite easy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.